After my millionaire grandpa passed and left his entire fortune to me, my parents, who'd never cared about me, tried to sue for it. You know that feeling? The one where your whole life has led to a single explosive moment? That's how it felt walking into that courtroom. And the first thing I saw? My own mother, Diane, rolling her eyes at me. Not a subtle flick of the gaze, no. This was a full-on theatrical eye roll, screaming, "Here we go again, you absolute inconvenience." Like I was the antagonist in her perfectly crafted victim narrative. But then it happened. Judge Brennan, a man who knew my entire history, froze. His eyes went from the paperwork on his desk to my face, and I swear I watched recognition hit him like a freight train. "Wait," he said, slowly setting down his pen. "These allegations, they're against you." That's when I knew. My parents had no idea who they were really up against. And honestly, that was the best part. So let me back up about 3 months. My grandfather died. Not just any grandfather, but Judge William Parker, a legend with 40 years on the Supreme Court bench. He was the man who actually raised me, while my biological parents were off living their best lives pretending I didn't exist. His funeral was massive. Every judge, every attorney, every politician in the state showed up to pay their respects. I delivered the eulogy. My parents? They sat in the back row, arrived late, and left before the reception. Classic Diane and Scott Morrison behavior. I hadn't seen them in over a decade. Not since my 18th birthday when my grandma died. And they showed up for exactly 90 minutes before vanishing again. After Grandma Helen passed, it was just Grandpa and me. He was 73 then, still sharp, still working, still making sure I had every opportunity he could provide. See, here's the thing about my parents. My mother got pregnant at 18 and decided motherhood really cramped her style. My father, Scott, was a promising hockey player with big dreams. A baby? That didn't fit his aesthetic. So they did what selfish people do. They dropped me off at my grandparents' house when I was 3 months old and basically vanished. Oh, they visited twice a year if the stars aligned. Christmas, maybe my birthday. Diane would swan in, all designer clothes and air kisses, spending the entire visit critiquing Grandma's parenting. Too soft, apparently. Meanwhile, Scott avoided these visits entirely because Grandpa, bless his honest soul, called him out for being a deadbeat. I used to watch my father on TV instead. Every time the Bruins played, Grandpa had the game on. Not because he cared about hockey, but because he wanted me to know my father existed somewhere, even if he chose not to exist in my life. But honestly, I never felt like I was missing anything. Grandma Helen and Grandpa William gave me everything. Real love. The kind that shows up. They were at every school play, every soccer game, every debate competition. They were my parents in every way that actually mattered. When Grandma died suddenly from a stroke, I was 18, about to start college, and the woman who raised me was just gone. I thought my world had ended. But Grandpa, he carried both of us through that grief. Full story on the channel. Link below. Click now and watch what happened next.